Okay, I'm going to find the quadratic formula by completing the square. This seems pretty difficult, and in a lot of ways it is quite difficult. But we've already solved quadratic equations by completing the square. And so the only thing we're going to do here is we're going to take the general formula, which is or the general equation, uh, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and we're going to complete the square on it. So we get some pretty messy math here sometimes, but it's just mechanics really. So what I'm going to do is multiply both sides by 1 over a. And the reason I do that, you may recall that this coefficient in ax squared in the ax squared term, that needs to be 1. So we start that, and so we're going to get 1 over a times all this. We're going to get x squared plus b over ax plus c over a, that's a c, is equal to 0. Now, the next thing is this, you will recall, if we take this and divide it by 2, but that's equal to the same as timesing it by 1/2. So b over a, I'll put a little tiny x there, times 1/2. And so we get b over 2a. And remember, we're also going to take that b over 2a and we're going to square it. So we're going to square that, and we get b squared over 2 squared is 4, and a squared is a squared. Now let's see where we're going to remember to put that in. I'm going to move this actually over here. Remember what we needed to do is we have the x squared plus b over ax, and then we subtract c over a. We subtract this from both sides because we want it over here. And then we're going to add some term to both sides here. And this, what we're going to add is this right here, this b squared over 4a squared. So I'm going to put that in here. So that here goes in here. And so this is a b squared over 4a squared. And this is b squared over 4a squared. Sorry, that's hard to read. But this side here is going to become x plus b over 2a, because it's the square root of this term here, if you recall, and squared. So it's back to our special polynomials, and it becomes that. And then we have all of this over here. Now all of this over here is pretty messy looking, so we're going to change it. We're going to first we're going to change this. We're going to change this by multiplying the c over a by 4a over 4a. And remember that, so that's times the opposite of c over a. So we're just right here. And then plus b squared over 4a squared. And the reason we did that is that we can get the denominator for both of these, a common denominator of 4a squared. So this becomes I'm going to say this becomes 4AC. It's actually negative 4AC all over 4A squared. And this becomes the same thing, b squared over 4a squared. Now, I'm going to just rewrite this part. This becomes x over b over 2a, and this simply becomes, now this all becomes, I'm going to put the b squared term first. This is b squared minus 4ac, and then the common denominator now is 4a squared. Okay? Now what we're going to do is take the square root of both sides. So we go ahead and do that. And so on this side, this is squared, by the way. This becomes x plus b over 2a is equal to, and this becomes the square root. Nothing changes here. It's the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared, but we will do something here. Think of 4a squared. We can take the square root of the top, and we can take that as the square root down here of 4a squared. But square root of 4a squared is just simply 2a. So in other words, I took this square root separately here, and it's down there. So now this is what we have so far. But look what we need to do now. We can solve for x by just subtracting the opposite of b over 2a from both sides. So now I get x is equal to the opposite of b over 2a plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over, or that over 2a. But we have a common denominator here, so I can add these together. I'm going to put it over on the left here just because this is going to be so dramatic. We're going to have x is equal to the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over, because we have this common denominator, 2a. And voila, we now have the quadratic formula, and that is something you should commit to memory for the rest of your life. So, okay, so that is x is equal to the opposite of b, or negative b, but we don't know what b is, so we say the opposite of b. So x is equal to the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So remember that. Practice it. Think of some easy way to remember it. With that, I'll stop.